We don't have any more agendas. Oh, distinguished Toastmaster.
Hello, how's everybody
Oh, the
doing?
president is
Amazing,
here.
after all.
Well,
That's
the
beautiful.
Toastmaster is supposed to bring it down.
The Toastmaster of the day.
Supposed to, not always, totally, should.
Maybe it should be
Every
the.
time I have printed the agenda, Leonard has it.
If it's the
But it's
second
too. Somebody has it too. So we wind up with different ones.
well, if it's the
Ken,
sergeant
what's
not
up?
down.
That's not the sergeant on the job, that's the Toastmaster
I used
day.
to sometimes I think.
But when I was the DPE, if the Toastmaster day didn't have a printer available, I did.
I'll do whatever.
Okay, it is now 12 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey,
Started our September 11th meeting off today. We are very glad to have Jonah back.
Jonna.
Thank you. I'll have it done by the end of the year.
And happy birthday. This is her birthday month.
Is this your birthday
Yes,
month too?
Yes,
Okay, we have another birthday member
Right.
back here, Dr. Jerome.
Right. Yeah.
Okay then. Well, I tell you what, come on down and let's get our agenda going.
All right.
Speakers.
Thank you, Emeritus. You're welcome. Master.
How do you introduce? Come on back up here and show me. Come on back up here and show me, Miss Bill. Come on, Miss Bill, gonna show us how to
Come on.
how to do it. Yeah. Go back, rewind, go back. Okay, now you show me, because I need to know what's right.
You come back up here, you're the.
No,
You be up there. You gotta.
No, you got to be trained. Come up here.
Go up there.
No, you stay there. I'm going to watch you. I have to observe in order to be trained.
Okay, welcome to our meeting, you did all that, right?
Welcome.
Okay,
Did the pledge. Yes.
then you're gonna say, you've done the pledge, and then you say, our Toastmaster of the day is none other than distinguished toast, whatever, our Jonna, whatever, you know. You caught me off guard.
Okay, go.
I can't do it because you caught me off guard.
What you can do is when Jonna is coming down here, find out if she is a competent communication or if she's halfway there, or if she's a distinguished, or if she's a bronze or a silver.
Okay.
We're welcome today our Toastmaster of the day, Jonna Jacob, or you can tell all the credentials about her first and then call her name.
Okay.
And then come on down, Toastmaster of the day, Jonna!
Jonna,
Come on down.
Come on
Look at
down.
that.
Thank you.
Come on down.
That's always important.
The half-competent Toastmaster of the day. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Yes.
First thing I'd like to do is take a moment of silence to remember all the victims of 9/11 and all the victims of terror globally. Thank you. I don't have any great words of wisdom or inspiration. I've come back from a long month of talking to a nonverbal baby. So next I would like to introduce our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Leonard Mukasa.
Come on down.
Thank you very much. Jana is back. Jana is back. Our word of the day is dyslexia. Help me out, folks. I'm in that group. Dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
What is it?
Dyslexia.
What is it, President Antoinette? What is it?
Difficulty in learning to read.
Any other views about this dyslexia thing? It's learning to read. What I'm bringing it up because I've heard that dyslexic people turn out to be good storytellers. And believe me or not, I feel I belong to this group because the English language is not my mother tongue, and the way it's constructed, I have problems pronouncing some of these words, reading the words. It is not tied to intelligence, please. Numbers are that about 20% of Americans have this problem, and 80% of learning disabilities are associated with a reading challenge. I want you to use it because as Toastmasters, you want to identify these people and encourage them to come up and speak. They fear reading in public initially as kids, but they turn out to be, as I understand it, good Toastmasters. We have one in our midst. At the end of the day, I want you to identify who this person is. Think about dyslexia, dyslexic children learning. You may think about it today or use it in a sentence, but I want you to reflect on that as a challenge to us as Toastmasters to bring this population out. Thank you very much.
Good job. Dyslexia.
Toastmaster John.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mukasa. Moving along to our Toastmaster Minute, we'll have Antoinette Mitchell, who is graciously filled in for us today.
Toastmaster Minute.
Our Toastmaster Minute for today is about filling your goal, completing your goal for your manual speeches. How many people would like to make their 10 speeches in 1 year? 10 speeches in 1 year. It can be done. I see several hands that have been lifted up. What we want to do is to take one speech at a time. Set a goal. You can make, when I looked at my calendar for myself, for my goal, I can make one speech per month from my manual. And by the end of this Toastmaster year, June 2018, I will have completed 10 speeches. That can be 10 speeches as a competent communicator. That can be 10 speeches as the advanced communicator bronze, advanced communicator silver, and gold. You can do 10 speeches, and after that, it becomes a little bit more difficult because you have other speeches. But 10 speeches, Toastmasters, can be acquired, achieved in 1 year if we set our goals and focus on our goals. This is my Toastmaster Minute for you. Back to Toastmaster of the Day, John.
Thank you very much, Antoinette. Leonard brought up dyslexia as a difficulty with learning to read. Some years ago, I was trying to study for a test called the GRE, and I was becoming very frustrated. I've never done well on standardized tests. So I went to a learning specialist, and I was diagnosed with dyscalculia, which is a difficulty with numbers. So now I have a legitimate reason for being bad at math. But it really has caused quite a bit of pain and difficulty in my life because, yes, I work in health statistics. I work mostly with numbers, so I'm extra careful because of this. But it has caused quite a bit of a lot of problems in my life with learning. Because when we were growing up, people didn't recognize these types of disorders. For instance, trying to learn the times tables, I couldn't tell you right now what 6 times 4 is. I would have to really think about that, and that can be quite embarrassing, as you might imagine. Anyway, getting back to our agenda, our first speaker for today is none other than Dr. Jerome Nagunde, who will be speaking out of the Competent Communicator Manual. The title of his speech is Emergency Resilience Kit, Not Your Vacation Plan. Please help me welcome Dr. Nagunde.
Come on down.
Thank you,
Am I
thank
saying
you.
your name right?
Yes, you did. Okay. Thank you. Dyslexia. You know, my wife says I'm dyslexic. I said, what do you mean, honey? She said, you can't read directions. You cannot even follow directions. Why don't you just stop and ask somebody? We just keep burning gas. I say, well, that's dyslexia for you. It has happened again. Not the first time. Not the second time. Not even 12 times. You know what I'm going with? You should just get to the point. Somebody tell you, get to the point.
Me. Point.
Get to the point. All right. We all know today's 9/11. And it's very tragic for me. I may be all perky, but inside I am all twirling. My family endured two 9/11s. The first time was Desert Storm. I remember my daughter saying, Daddy, you gonna be gone again? You gonna be gone again? And I said, I don't know, but I love you. And she paused. Dad, are you going to be going again? I said, honey, I don't know, but let's leave it up to God. So, for some of us who didn't make it back, how do you get this on? Just trying to get my presentation on real quickly. My time's going. It's happening again. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. So we're going to try to bring 9/11 in a different form. And it's all about planning ahead. Planning ahead takes a lot of skills. This is the objective for today. If you want to live right now, I've already told you what you need to know. Plan ahead. You can live now. No takers? Okay. All right. Now, this could be any of us. You wake up, tornadoes come through your house, your whole life is in the front yard. Your degrees, your certificates, your precious memorabilia. Now what do we do? That's what I'm trying to tell you, because you've heard this, you've seen it, but I try to give it from another perspective that has worked. Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. I can. Everybody can. Some of my friends in Florida and Texas are going through this right now, and I'm not going to go into some of their horror stories, but that's where we are. Please plan carefully. Choose carefully as you formulate that plan. I see my my co-worker in the other aisle of me. She's always busy. I know she plans ahead very carefully, Miss Victoria, because she's always getting things accomplished. Why do we get things accomplished? Because sometimes this is the short term that we all know. We hear about this, CDC, and everybody tells us about that. That we know. But where am I going to? What's my point here? It's what you do after the short term. This is what you're going to live with. That's what I've been living with since Desert Storm, since 9/11. The last 16 years ago, I was deployed. I used to be in the military then. And the things that we learned and what we did is some of how I want to share with you. Again, I bring the point, disasters don't plan, we do. So, this is what I brought from the military. Don't make a plan, avoid all sails and no anchor. How do you anchor that? With love and with God. I was talking with a fellow Toastmaster just before this, and he told me his classic story. When 9/11 happened for him, what did he do? He took off running to go get his beautiful daughter. That's love. That's family. That's why we plan ahead. If you didn't take anything out of this, that's my point. That's my point. This never worked for me, okay? That did not work for me, period. You know? It's not your vacation plan, people. It is not. This will live with you forever. Now, I'll show you what works for me. Long term, your damn plan works. It thoroughly works, and let me tell you how it goes. That's how that goes. I believe in dream chasers. You chase your dreams. Surround yourself with good people. Get a life coach, get a mentor. I see all of them here in this room. We are all chasing dreams, good dreams, because we help people. If you don't think so, get up and walk out, because it's not for you. We all learn from each other. We all use each other as mentors.
Right.
And I want to bring to point what I always say to a lot of my friends, what the great Dr. Martin Luther King said. You know, we all have visions. Stop daydreaming, okay? And don't make your life a nightmare. We all can read. That's what I've always taken, and I play this every February during the Black History Month. This is where I live. This is where I live. And I want to bring the focus, the end, the noble. Because of chemistry, I was a chemistry major. And noble gases are like xenon and neon. And you want to be very stable with your life. Again, love is the fulfillment of the law. Like one of our fellow Toastmasters told me, love drove him when 9/11 happened. Distinguished Toastmaster Adrian, you believe in that, don't you?
Yes.
You don't have to answer, because I know you practice it every day. You share your love all the time. So, getting to the point, plan ahead. That's why I'm standing here talking to you. And I'll be remiss. This is where it all started from, an African proverb. Yeah. You decide where you belong. I'm not going to read it to you, but in the benefit of Toastmaster Adrian, monkeys are always the same, but the forests have changed. Thank you.
Good. Great. Excellent.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jerome. Our second speaker of our three scheduled speakers is Adrian Duncan.
7.
I had the name of his
Leadership.
speech, and it's leadership. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Adrian Duncan.
Madam Toastmaster, Miss Donna, Toastmaster Donna. Fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I think I just lost your help there, Miss Toastmaster. Let me check and see what I can do. I may have lost my deal there for a second. Does that look okay? Okay. Let's see. Now, does that look okay? Is that all right? Thank you. Leadership. Those of you that know much about discipline, this is what I've learned as a youngster from my Toastmaster mentor, leadership. The number one word is lead, L-E-A-D. Number one, he said laugh no matter what, because there is a higher power that will guide you and lead you if you'll laugh. Laugh out loud. When I hear people telling me something that is not quite up to what we call snuff, now if you dip snuff, that may be a challenge, not a problem. Y'all didn't laugh. Dyslexia will keep you from laughing because you see a problem, not the challenge, not the opportunity. Is that true? Most often. I've learned the second word is edit or edify. When I see someone challenged with such as dyslexia, I see them needing some help. Dyslexia means I need your help. I need your guidance. Will you help me focus differently? I had a young lady that tried to pass a math test She had professionals for 3 years tried to help her pass the test. I asked her, I said, here are 4 things I will help you do. There's 4 words in these reading problems that you need and must learn. If you will learn these 4 words in math problems, they will show you how to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Then you can pass the test. In 6 weeks, she learned what professionals had not been able to teach her in 3 years. She passed the test, made 92% on the test. Matter of fact, she made a better grade than most of her coworkers and peers. So this cowl that you have, Jana, is not a problem. It's an opportunity. Is that right? The next part, the third part of this is A, is apply. Does anyone in this room have a Toastmasters application? In your hand? In your packet? Do you see where leadership is important? If you're not prepared, where are you? Apply what you've learned. If you do not have an application in your possession today as a Toastmaster, does everyone in the room have a pen or pencil? If you don't have, okay, good, great. See, there's half your battle there. Because you can fill out an application because you can take the person's name, date of birth, address, zip code, telephone number, email, etc. There's how you can apply an application to the person. Then when you get back to your area, fill that application out by your handwriting. However, then give that information to your prospective applicant. Then that person can apply when they sign their name to the application. The next one is D. Lead is L-E-A-D. The next one is delegate. Have someone in your area, in your Toastmaster club, your officers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, delegate someone to have at least 2 applications with them when you go to a meeting. Not necessarily a Toastmasters meeting, but a Toastmasters meeting like today. There should have been at least 5 applications in this room. How many people do we have in the room? Dave, Jana, Toastmaster Biddle. How many individuals do we have in this room, please? 10. Wow. And I'm number 11. Today is 11th, y'all. It's a 911. And you all do not have an application in the room. You cannot apply what you don't have. If your officers do not delegate, if you do not delegate, who will do it? Everybody could, somebody should, all of them would, however, no one did. That's why it did not get done. Let me ask you a question. This is to delegate. Has anyone planned their Christmas program already? Wow. That's poor planning. Dr. Jerome, did you see that? You noticed that. Let me tell you, we already have our Christmas program down to the fine arts. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to celebrate an entire week before when? Before the 23rd, before the 24th, before the 25th. How many minutes have I had? 5 or 6? Okay, number 1. Okay, let's go back to lead, because laughter. I find laughter. If you can get someone to tell you a joke that they know, write it down, put it in your notes, then when you see them again, start out by telling them, I'm going to this room on Friday, and the room is listed as D, as in dog. And if you've got a sweet little dog that you can love, the little dog. I'm going to room D on Friday, and I'm going to take some applications. Why am I going to take applications? Because I want to edify the individuals in the room. Why am I going to apply the knowledge that I have? To help them develop skills they already have, they're not using, and they're not getting credit for the skills they have, nor for the work that they've done. They have not received 1 iota of recognition. Is that true? Have y'all noticed that? I have. I worked in a place where everyone in the upper echelon received the edification, the application, the plaques, delegation. They had all of the authority. The people that did the work, I worked in those areas 4 years, 5, 6, 7 years, and not one person that did the final work that shipped it out across the United States and to other countries, 58 countries. I did not see that person get 1 recognition in the years that I worked there. Matter of fact, there were 5 people in that room. I did not see one of them receive a plaque. And that made me sad. And that's when I joined Toastmasters, to help people see that they can lead if they will laugh, edify, lift up, if they will apply and delegate and develop those skills that will help you become a leader and get credit for it, recognition. Madam Toastmaster, did we do right? Is that a good leader? without being dyslexia today.
Very good job, Adrian. As always. Our next speaker for today is Camille Wilder Hairston. Sorry, ma'am, she is not here.
Oh, then go ahead to your table topics,
All right.
whoever this charge.
Table topics today. I had to look out in the audience to see if he was here. Table topics today will be done by Charlie Simpson. I could not
Hey, come on
remember
down.
his name. I'm so
Toastmaster
sorry.
Charlie, come on down. Toastmaster Simpson.
Toastmaster Simpson, thank you.
Does he have them on
Greetings.
today? Did he? Afternoon?
Got an interesting table topics today. I have a coin in my hand.
Oh,
On those coins are dates. Your objective is to read the date, share a story or an event that was happening, or a story or an event that was happening on that particular date. If you got dyslexia,
hey, look at that.
Just ask
Good.
what the
I love
date
that.
is.
I love that.
and I'll share it with you. I forgot your name, I'm sorry. Yes. Carol, that's it.
Carol,
Come
give
on
her a
up.
hand. Welcome, Carol. Come on down, Carol. Come on down. Looking great.
You just got your CC, right? You just got your CC, right?
Yes. So just pick one?
Pick one. Take a look at the date. Come to the podium. Share what was happening with you in that year.
Good
Might be a
afternoon.
dirty coin. Can you see the date?
Good afternoon. All right.
I got it.
Good.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
1971.
Wow. None of us were born back then.
I believe in 1971 I was in elementary school. I'm not really sure what grade I was in, but I kind of think I was in the 5th grade, maybe. And since I'm from Chicago, I remember it was a very bad snowstorm, but we still had to go to school, not like Arkansas and Georgia, when the world shuts down because you get a little ice or snow. Well, we would get an hour for lunch break, and I walked home in the snow and walked back. So it was treacherous
Oh.
for me. I do not have dyslexia.
Woo.
Trying to remember this thing from 1971. All right.
Good job. Wow, that was excellent. Great.
Casa. Come on up.
Come on down. Come on down.
Yes, Toastmaster Charlie.
I didn't put my 1950s in there.
Keep a clean coin.
Try to.
And if I can't get the year, what do I do? This is 2016.
He became a Toastmaster in 2016.
Casa is a brand new creation. I belong to the 1950s, and that's fine. What did I do last year? Dyslexia, dates, left or right. I fit in there. I'll try my best. 2016. Do we want January or December? Wonderful thing I did, as you may recall, Dr. Joseph H. Bates. I knew he was on his way to retirement. We took a trip to Atlanta. We went to make a case for what we call the mini Marshall Plan, TB screening of Marshall youth, the whole population. Fast forward, September, I took another trip with Dr. Bates to Denver, Colorado. And we talked about screening the elderly in the whole U.S. population, people who were born before 1950, before there was TB treatment. Those are memorable things I touched, 2016. Toastmaster Charlie.
Good job. Great. Good job.
I return the coin.
Return the coin. Got to put it back in my son's piggy bank. DTM Biddle.
Oh, here we go, Toastmaster Biddle. All right.
Now here I thought I was getting a new coin, because it's all pretty. 1995. I have no idea what I was doing that year. How old was I? I was 35. So what was I doing? Let's see. 1995. I know I was working here. In 1995, I was working for Health Stats. That year, I believe, I was a medical economist in Health Stats, working on a Robert Wood Johnson grant. And we were, that's when Health Stats first started expanding. And in the Robert Wood Johnson grant, our director at the time was Doug Murray. And he was expanding Health Stats, and we were in the process of doing things to make healthcare better, health statistics better, in the state of Arkansas. My job was to analyze Medicaid data and other data systems within the health department, including sanitarian data. That's when I discovered all the weird things that go on at the restaurant.
Oh, Lord. It's lunchtime, y'all. No.
Y'all don't really want to know about that.
No.
That's what I remember about 1995.
I know. That's dyslexia. Good. Okay. Dyslexia.
I need you to start calling out some restaurants so we know where not to go.
Don't be a name caller, dropper. Don't be a name
There you
dropper.
go.
That was good.
Do we
I
have
like
time
that.
for one more? One more?
Do we have time?
Antoinette.
Oh, come on down.
Come on up.
President, come on down. All right, come on down.
You say what?
Come on down.
you
Come
just
on
go
down.
pick a coin.
Coin. You got a coin. Come on down. A
The
coin.
coin and you
Come on
go
down.
from
You
there.
got a coin.
Let me see which one I want.
Go.
There we go.
Shiny one.
Should have got that shiny one. Uh-oh. Oh, my.
I got one.
Let me change. I'm going to be like your son would be. Daddy, let me have another one. Okay, now what number is that right there? 19. That's a 2015.
15.
Oh, good.
Yes, 2015. Madam Toastmasters,
Table topic.
table topic master,
Give her a
fellow Toastmasters.
Dyslexia.
Dyslexis. It kicks in every now and then. Sometimes it clashes with what? The forget-a-writers, okay? All right. 2000 and, now what year was this again? 2015. That was a very good year.
Dyslexia.
I was working for the Department of Human Services. That was the year that my precious second grandbaby was born in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
It was a little girl. Her name is Hallie. And Hallie is so precious to me, I wanted to name her Caroline. But the parents, for some reason, did not like Caroline. because I could hear this song, Sweet Caroline. And I said, what about that? And they said, no, I don't think so, Miss Mitchell. Hallie is precious. Hallie was born on June 17th. And that was the day that I went walking. And I saw some precious berries that were growing. I love wild blackberries. And Hallie's birthday reminds me of blackberries. So every time I go walking on June 17, 2000, well, in the 2000 area further on, I think about my precious Hallie. So that is why I remember 2015. Back to you.
Good job.
Mr.
Thank you.
Topic Master. Good topic. Gotta put it back in the baby.
There you go. We'll move on back to our Toastmaster of today.
All right. Toastmaster John. Woo, good job.
And I'll tell you how relieved I am I was not chosen for that particular table topic. Do you know that 5 out of 4 people aren't good with statistics?
5 out of 4.
That was a joke.
Did
5
you hear
out of
that?
4.
5 out of 4 is not good. That's exactly right. 11 out of 9. No, she said 5 out of 4.
That's
the same thing as
joke. That's the joke.
That's the same thing as 11 out of 9 is not good either.
I'm trying to lead up here and starting with laughter. But your hearing is dyslexic. We'll move on with our meeting. We're making really good time. I don't know if that means I should be speaking more or you should be speaking more, but let's go with our general evaluator, Shauna Meadows, and
Woo, Shauna.
and if she feels particularly
Good job. Okay,
loquacious
Shauna, here we go.
today. Welcome, Shauna Meadows.
Here we go. She's not dyslexic. This cow.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Toastmasters.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I would like to think that I'm not dyslexic, but I can't say that for sure because I was self-diagnosed myself as dyslexic when it comes to reading certain ingredients on the back of packages. I don't understand them and I can't pronounce them. So I don't know if that's considered technically dyslexic, but I feel like I am. I just don't understand how to pronounce the words and I don't understand how to read them. So I can't learn them. Today I would like to introduce the evaluators for our meeting. The first evaluator would be Adrian Duncan, who's going to be evaluating the first speech.
Dr. Jerome. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Jerome,
Let me
thank
step on your
you.
toe. Mhm. Thank you. All right. Toastmaster, General Toast Evaluator. General Evaluator. The most important part, Dr. Jerome, Toastmaster Jerome to me is an ordinary, everyday person. Now, I didn't say common. However, I think with your passion, when we plan, if we do not plan, what is the plan? It's to fail. Those of you that have not planned your Christmas party, like Dr. Jerome, is planning to fail some parts of your Christmas. Now, I think the best part was you went through 1, 2, 3, 4, showing us how each part of 911 is connected to our love, our heart, our mind, our body, our soul. When you gave us those options, not problems, you told us if we have planned to help those less fortunate than ourselves, whether it's our daughter, grandmother, grandfather, grandparents, or just simply friends, when you know there's a crisis in Texas or Florida or Colorado or Maine or North Dakota, South Dakota, when you have a plan already. I have a friend of mine, he said, if you call me any hour of the day, it does not matter what hour of the day, I will be on my way. I'll have my clothes in my hand and my shoes already thrown in the car. I will have my gas tank already full and ready to roll. How many of you have that option today, this afternoon at lunch? Is you true? I think the most important part, what you said, Toastmaster Jerome, was how do you feel when there's a crisis, when there's a catastrophic opportunity? How do you manage if you do not have a plan? Do you have a backup? Do you have a friend you can call? Can you delegate? Can you edify that person? Can you apply those items which you have learned over the past several years, how to recover when you're distraught? And I think that's what you taught us and showed us today. I think with your challenge today, you said to us, I dare you to plan whereby when I fail, someone will be there to pick me up, help me, encourage me. Is that what I heard, Toastmaster Jerome?
2 minutes.
To me, that's what's important. I believe he's one of our best leaders. If you will simply listen to this young man as our leader, I believe we'll all grow and develop new skills. General Evaluator, come on down. Thank you. Good job. Excellent. I didn't want to be dyslexic. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Adrian.
Thank you.
We would like to introduce the next evaluator, which will be Monique,
Come on down,
Manu.
Toastmaster Monique.
who will
on
be
down.
evaluating our second speaker. Camille.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today I'm going to be evaluating distinguished Toastmaster Adrian Duncan. And he talked about today leadership, which is something that could help us all being good leaders. He also, in his speech today, incorporated the word of the day, dyslexia, several times. He asked a question for us to ponder on, and even he gave instructions on what we can do, specifically me, on how I can help to recruit others to our organization. So it causes, as a leader, what I learned from his speech is how to think ahead. And I love the acronym that he gave, which was lead, laugh, to edify, apply, and to delegate. And those are just some awesome tips that he gave for us to become great leaders. So I appreciate that. He showed enthusiasm in his voice, and he projects well. And he also incorporated, since today is 9/11, he said today is the 11th, it's 9/11, and I really like that. So he incorporated the significance of today. So your speech was well done, and I'm going to take those nuggets back and actually use those to better my leadership skills. So thank you.
Good job. Well done. Thank you.
Next, we would like to introduce our grammarian, which is Dr. Mukasa.
Come on down, Toastmaster Mukasa.
Thank you,
Come on
thank
down.
you, Toastmaster Shannon. You reminded me why I chose dyslexia. Turns out you are one of our best entertaining speakers, and we want to expand the tent, the Toastmasters tent. We heard about leadership today, planning and done it. Plan. Plan for the future. Well, we include everybody. Everybody needs to survive. Dyslexia, dyslexic members, these were well used today. I really appreciate that. I didn't know how it would turn out. It is going to keep us thinking about enlarging the tent of Toastmasters. This is Toastmaster Shannon. Thank you very much.
Good job. Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Next, we would like to introduce the timers report, which is distinguished Toastmaster Joyce. The all counter, which is distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Minor.
Here you go. All right. Come on down. All right. All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I will try to do this and not display my traits of dyslexia here. Counter, you all did pretty well. I noticed some crutch words mainly been used during the time that the individuals have been given their feedback. We have 5 so's, 7 uhs, and 2 ands that were a little out of place. But overall, I think you guys have done well. we most definitely learned how to lead, so now we just need to learn how to speak well. Thank you.
Good job. Excellent. Well done.
Thank you. Next, we would like to introduce the timers report with distinguished Toastmaster Joyce Biddle.
Toastmaster Biddle, come on down. All right, great.
We started the meeting on time at 12 noon. Our grammarian spoke for 2 minutes and 4 seconds, introducing the word of the day. Our Toastmaster minute was 1 minute and 22 seconds. Our first speaker was 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Our second speaker was 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Moving down to our table topics, our first person, Carol, was 1 minute and 4 seconds. Leonard was 1 minute and 36 seconds. I was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Antoinette was 1 minute and 34 seconds. Going to our evaluation team, evaluator number 1, Adrian, was 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Evaluator number 2, Monique, was 1 minute and 19 seconds. Our grammarian was 55 seconds. Our art counter was 42 seconds. And I have been speaking for 56 seconds. That is your timer's report.
Good job. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Woo, good job. Good job. Excellent. Without being dyslexic.
Overall, I think we had a really great meeting. It looks like we might be ending a little early today. That could be because one of our speakers was not available. But it's still pretty close. It always amazes me how even when the meetings don't go as they are planned, we always end up pretty much on schedule, which I think is great. I think the title for the word of the day was very challenging. I feel dyslexic when I think about it. But I think it was good for us to use some words that are out of usual context. Also, I think that the speakers did a great job. I was interested from the beginning of the meeting to the end of the meeting. I think that if I were to give any advice today, it would just be for us to just continue to be flexible and prepared to do whatever responsibilities or opportunities come our way. And I'm pleased to have our presiding officer back. So I would like to now introduce Jana. Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna.
Okay. Done.
I'll never forget how to pronounce Shauna's name because it's just like my name, Jana, with far fewer letters. My name was with far fewer letters. There's the mouse. Well, darn it. Since I have a captive audience, I was going to make you look at pictures of my daughter. And we had so much extra time, I think I could probably fill it.
Oh.
But I can't get the mouse to work, so you're off the hook. I'm sorry that you missed it, though. It would have made your whole day better. She's absolutely beautiful. She almost rolled over yesterday. She's 3 months old tomorrow.
Wow.
We had a great meeting today, and I thank everyone for coming and welcoming me back. Trying to get back into my routines, not always easy. But I'm getting there. I only have 87 emails I haven't opened yet.
Join the club.
Right. But they're further down the list, and I figure if you emailed me almost a month ago, you probably had your problem solved by now.
Amen. Amen.
That's my theory of leadership.
I like it. I like it.
Handing it back to our presiding officer, ACB, Antoinette Mitchell.
Letter perfect. Yeah, look at this. ACG. Woo. All right. Ready to go. Ready for go.
I am one speech away from Distinguished Toastmasters. I plan to finish it this week.
Hallelujah.
This week. I need you all to come. Yes, I didn't change the letters on this club. I've changed it on another club, but not this one.
So if I go out there and look on
This is national.
it'll say something else.
It will say A.
Toastmasters International automatically up there.
Does it really? Okay, it's got ALS. That's where I got it from. ALS, leader, silver. You've got one side, since we've got maybe 3 minutes, just quickly, you've got one side that is your communicator side. After you finish your 10 speeches in the manual, then you're getting ready to do your CL. After the CL, you're falling into the leadership category. That's where the rubber meets the road. You do a little bit more work, but you will enjoy the journey. It is all well worth it. Hang in there and do it. Do we have any questions, any business we need to take care of today? Something I may not be thinking of?
Yeah, Joyce has several now.
Okay, go ahead, Joyce. Yeah, there's some.
Go, go, go.
Come on down here with me.
Distinguished Joyce. Toastmaster Bill.
The mute one. You got it.
First, the area contest for areas B1, B2, and B3 will be Saturday at St. Vincent's beginning at 8:30. Registration begins at 8:30. The contest probably starts at 9. I haven't heard that
Right, it
exactly.
does, yes. Thank you.
It says till 2, but I doubt it'll go that long. It'll be however long it takes for all of the contests to finish. So I'm asking you to come out and support all of us, because I'm in the humorous speech contest. Leonard and Shauna are in the table topics contest. I don't know which order we're doing in. Do you know, Adrian?
They usually decide when they get there, depending on who has requirements.
So, no, I mean if they're doing table topics or humorous speech first.
Usually humorous speaking, usually. They usually
Okay. So they're probably doing humorous speeches
Most
first.
often, yes.
That's usually what they do,
Yes.
but I don't know if they're doing that
Right.
because I haven't heard.
Right.
So they'll probably do the humorous speeches first
Right.
and then do the table
Usually
topics.
we do, yes.
And they always do all 3 areas and then
Right.
do table topics. And then do the next announcement I have is we need to pay our dues.
Today.
Now, I told you all
Today,
in the email that we have to have it into
this week.
TI.
TI by the end of the month. I would like to have it from you all before that so that when I get ready to pay TI online that I'm not bogged down. Because when all of the clubs, because it's an international company, when all of the companies all over the world, all of the clubs all over the world are on there at the same time, it slows the system down. So if I can do it at least a week before, even though I told you the 29th, but if I can do it at least a week before, it would be better. Those of you all who are paid by the agency, all I need is your $6. That's the $6 club fee that we charge. We charge you all $1 per month. That's 6 months of club fees, but it's 45 plus 6 for everybody else. Okay? So please, if y'all can get that into me as soon as possible. And you can pay by cash, check, money order, debit or credit card, because we take debit and credit cards because we have the means to do that. Right? So any form of payment that you want to make, I will take. The other thing is the district conference is going on in Fayetteville in November. It's November 9th and 10th.
10, 11, 10, 11.
The 10th and 11th?
Mhm.
Okay.
That'll mean
10th and
40
11th,
all.
whatever that weekend is.
Mhm.
It's
10
the
and
only
11.
weekend that the Razorbacks are not in Fayetteville.
Oh, good.
That's when it was planned.
Traffic will be easier.
That's when it was planned, that the only weekend that the Razorbacks are not in Fayetteville. So if you all want to go, if we want to go as a group, we can do that.
Mhm.
But it's a limit of 10. A limit of 10 going as a group for $100. If we want to get 10 of us together, we can go up there for a group of 100. It only pays for the educational classes, though. It doesn't pay for the luncheon and the 2 dinners.
No.
So you have to get food on your own if we do that. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do that, let me know, and then we can make the arrangements to do that. But we need to do it soon, because once they start making all the arrangements, they're going to kind of cut it off.
Well, it's nice to get it early.
Okay?
The earlier, the better.
All right, but if you want to go as an individual, you want to pay your individual and pay for everything, the education and the banquets and all of that, that you can do that too, but they cut that off around the first part of October, no, the middle of October.
Right. About 15th usually about 15th.
But as time goes on, they raise the price.
Right.
Okay? Yes, ma'am.
For the new members, can you kind of explain, like, the speech contest and table topics and all that? First of all, is there a fee for that?
No, no charge.
And then, is it something where we're supposed to be there all day?
No.
You only have to be there during your part. So that's why I was saying, more than likely, the humorous speech contest is first.
Right.
So you really don't have to be there for the table topics contest, since you're only in the table topics contest. If you were in both contests, you would have to be there for both.
It's a good learning experience, just to keep, that you can be there when you need to be. That's most.
But you only need to be, because you should be hearing from whoever the contest chair is. You just in the name.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And it's been confirmed that the names were received.
So sometime this week, you should get an email from the contest chair to tell you what time you need to be there.
But always still be there at 8:30 anyway, because they will help you organize and help you put together what you need, where you need to be, when you need to be. We'll help you there, because I'll be there, other people will be there, help you. Dewey McGar will be there, and others of us who've been around a long time will help you when you get there at 8:30.
If you don't, you should hear from whoever the area director is, Malay McNair. You should hear from her or whoever the
Nash.
contest chair
Big
is.
Nash. Big Nash will get it to you.
I don't know who the contest
Malay
chair
sent out
is.
an email, I believe.
But I know Malay sent an email out last week to us as the officers. But you should hear from either Malay or the contest chair.
8:30 is the time to be there.
So, but, you know, I'm going to be there at 8:30 because I know the humorous speech starts.
Yeah, we'll be there. Thank
We want to support other members being there by 8.
you. Right, please do. Yes, yes.
Other clubs will be there also. We're not the only club. All of the clubs she's talking about will be there.
So whatever clubs are participating in each area.
And help.
Usually what they do is they do area 1, then area 2, then area 3, and we're in area 2. So however many contestants there are in each area, they're going to do them first.
Also look at Brenda Tenner. I think Brenda Tenner sent out some
And it usually doesn't take more than,
2 hours.
humorous speech takes longer than table topics, because, you know, table topics is only 2 minutes per person. But, and humorous speech, you know, you say, you know, basically like 10 minutes per speech.
Right.
You know, because when you're talking about the time of the speech and the time, you know, you give the judges 2 minutes between speeches. So I always say 10 minutes per person. That's the way I time it. But You never know how many, we don't know how many contestants there are. It could only be one contestant per area. That's happened before. Sometimes it could be 6 contestants per area, you know.
Look at your emails. McGar usually sends it out. Dewey McGar usually sends it out. Look at your emails from McGar.
Well, but.
Will it come to the member?
Dewey's in the other areas, in other divisions.
But he also helps with B also. Malay
Well,
does.
he does, but
You can check it out.
I don't know if he's doing this. Because I think Dewey's handling the other, because I got an email asking me to judge, and I told him I couldn't.
You did. Bottom line, if you want to get there early, get there. You'll get the feel of the room. You'll see the other contestants. And I believe that'll settle down a lot of the anxiousness that comes with speaking in a contest.
And they'll show you the area that you have to speak, like from the
Oh, it's
front
1
of these
o'clock.
tables to this side to that side. They'll show you the area that you have to stay in, and they'll also show you the time, 4.5 to 7.5 minutes minimum, maximum. They'll do that for you. Per speech. People speech. Right. Right.
With no other questions?
But like I told.
It's 1:02. Let me go
I
ahead
mean, you can go ahead
and dismiss. All right, then. Our meeting is adjourned now. Thank you all for coming.
Applications, I'm looking for 5 applications. I'm looking for 5.
Distinguished Toastmaster Edwin, this is Jerome's evaluation.
Okay, good.
Said to write, me write
I
the
did.
full thing.